What's going on, guys? I'm Matt from SB Fishing TV here with Carl's Bait and Tackle. Today we're going to go over 5 winter baits you need to have tied on to catch fish all winter long. So the baits we're going to talk about today are going to cover all ranges of the water column, and they're going to work wherever you have open water. So I know a lot of you guys are completely iced over and can't fish at all, but if you have any open water, these are the baits that are going to catch you fish. First and foremost, we're going to start with the Death Stalker. So this is a blade bait from Catch Co., which has a bit of a twist to it as well because they added a blade on the back instead of having another treble hook. This thing is one of my favorite baits to throw all winter long. I find that it just catches fish of all sizes, and it's super fun, and it's a pretty active bait to throw around. Next up, we have the Rapala Ripstop. So this is a suspending jerk bait, and this is perfect to throw when you find yourself in cold, clean water. So you're gonna work this slowly around rocks and docks, work it off of points, around bridges. You can pretty much throw this in any open water situation where you're not gonna get it hung up too much. And this thing is awesome. It catches fish year round, but wintertime is my favorite time to throw it. We're gonna get into a few different plastics we're gonna be throwing around today. First being the Googan Baits Bandito Bug. So this is perfect as a jig trailer or on a Texas rig. It has a few different appendages on it which give it a bunch of action, and you know, if you find yourself in a situation where you find some active fish that want something with a bunch of action to it, the Bandito Bug is definitely the one to be throwing around. Another bait from Googan Baits is the Slim Shake. It's just a finesse styled worm. You can shaky head it, throw it on a drop shot, and it's one of my favorite things to throw year round. Wintertime is a really good time to throw it. You can just drag it around, the fish will eat these things up. And last but not least, you have the Robo Worms. Basically along the same lines as the Googan Bait Slim Shake. This bait is perfect to throw on a drop shot or a shaky head. It's a really nice finesse presentation. The fish just can't say no. So we're gonna rig some of these up. We're gonna get to fishing. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna use these baits to try to catch some winter fish. All right, guys, we're gonna take the Death Stalker and rig this thing up on a spinning rod. I'm gonna throw it on my 7-1 medium light. And that is a 20-pound braided main line to a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. So this bait is super easy to fish. It's an active bait to fish in the winter, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm trying to locate just schools of bait or areas where you know fish are. And I like to cast the Death Stalker out, let it sink to the bottom, and then you're slowly just ripping it up. Letting it sink down, hit the bottom, and then you rip it up again. You can give it 2 pumps, you can give it 1 pump. You just want this thing to hit the bottom and pop. Right now I'm just fishing it around a bridge. I know there's a ton of bait under here. Might run into a small striper, a couple bass, don't know yet. We just picked up a Bandito Bug from Googan Baits. Gonna throw it around on the Texas rig. And this is another really good bait, good creature bait with a bit of action. But if you find some active fish, it's awesome to throw around in the winter. It's a really good one just to drag around slowly. You can flip it to rocks, wood, dock pilings, bridge pylons. You really just want to work it slow in the winter. These fish are being really, really finicky today. I think I need to throw a drop shot with the Robo Worm. I'm going to rig that up real quick. The Ripstop is a bait I'm going to throw when I find myself some clean water. It works in dingy water too, but I feel a lot more comfortable throwing it in clean water because I feel like the fish are gonna see this from a ways away and come over and check it out. They'll hear the beads inside knocking and see it suspending. They can't help themselves to come up and eat it. So I'm throwing the Ripstop on a 6/8 medium moderate action rod. You don't want something with too much backbone because it'll rip the hooks out when you're fighting the fish. You want to throw it on something like a crank and stick. I have that paired up with 12-pound fluorocarbon line and a medium speed gear ratio reel. Now fishing it is not too difficult. You don't want to make it hard. You can fish it really slow, you can fish it really quick, but generally the colder the water, the slower I'm going to fish it. So you just reel down to the bait, almost to where you take all the slack out of the line, and then you just give it 2 rips and then let it pause. And you can change the length of that pause to whatever the fish likes. Sometimes they want it to sit there for 1 second, sometimes they'll want it to sit there for 30. Like, it really just depends on what mood the fish are in. You can also change how many rips you're giving this bait. Sometimes you want 1 long pull, sometimes you want 3 short ones, sometimes you want just 1 or 2 rips. It seems like the fish are getting really active around here. Since this is a suspending jerkbait, one important key is you definitely want to give it that pause. The fish are going to eat it when you let it sit still, just like that. So when you go rip, rip, and you let it sit, they're going to eat it now. So if you keep an eye on your line too, you'll see them hit it a lot of the times. Something really interesting about the ripstop is this downward turn tail that it has. And what that does is it makes this bait just stop on a dime. So when you're giving it these rips back to the boat, it'll stop right in place and gives it a really erratic, aggressive action. It's a really nice looking jerkbait. Oh, there's a bite. What do we got? Oh, largie. Decent largie too. Here we go, guys. It's a decent largemouth on the robo worm there on the drop shot. He's probably about 1.5 pounds. I have not been bit on anything else. That's just the biggest thing about winter fishing sometimes. It gets really tough. They key in on one bait, so we're gonna keep throwing this around a little bit. All right, guys, so we've been out for quite some time today and have only caught 1 fish. Caught it on the robo worm on a drop shot. And something I want to share with you guys really quickly is I'm showing you all these baits to have tied on, and I hope you didn't expect me to catch fish on every single one, because that's just not the way winter fishing works. These are just going to be the top 5 baits that you should go out and attack the fish with. They're going to be able to help you create a pattern, figure out what they're keying in on, and figure out what they're eating. So sometimes you'll be able to catch fish on, you know, the jerkbait and a drop shot. Sometimes it'll be just the Texas rig. Sometimes it'll be just the blade bait. So keep that in mind when you go out this winter. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. I gotta get back to the ramp before it starts getting dark out here. I hope you enjoyed this video on 5 baits that you need to have tied on this winter. Let me know in the comment section below what your top 5 favorite baits are. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on Carl's YouTube channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.